Hello and welcome to Movie Mash. Again, it's been a while, but I'm back. And we got here the usual suspect, Davey from the 80s, over from Cinema Chop Shop. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Yeah, I'm going to put his link and all his good stuff. We'll talk to him in a second. But I just want to say to you quickly, we're going to do something different. It's a tier ranking, not quite a ranking, but a tier on horror icons. Not who we like to be our favorite, but who we think deserves it, whether we like him or not. I give you an example. I don't love Chucky. He's never been my favorite, but I do think he deserves to be in the horror icon. He's earned that. So before I carry on, I'm going to let you talk to Davey from the 80s. Tell us about yourself, because you're always, if they don't know who you are by now.
What are you doing here? If you don't know who I am already, like, what's going on? Like, why are you even here? But my name is David from the 80s. I come from the Cinema Chop Shop YouTube channel where I make movie reviews. I also react to trailers. I got break horror news or any news in general that's regarding movies. I'm just an all-around cinemaphile. Just go ahead, head to the channel, check me out, subscribe if you like what you see.
He's probably one of the most underrated and the most hardworking YouTuber. And because it's Easter, I'll only say that this time. All right, just this one time. All right, the rest of the time I'm the best. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I just want to show you guys the categories. Let me see if I can get this on here. All right, if you guys can see it, I'm going to read it out. I'm going to start from top iconic, second killer, third bloody good, fourth memorable enough, and then we got slash and miss and rejects. Right, so I think it's all self-explanatory.
Yeah, I was just
Which
about to say the same thing. Like, it's pretty
yeah, I
self-explanatory.
mean, but what I was going to say is so all the icons at the bottom. I'll show you guys. I'm going to show you a bit more. There's a couple of more at the bottom. What we're going to do is in no specific order, so I'm just going to grab and just go from there. But we're just going to decide between both of us who deserves to be in the iconic, in which order. As I said, it's not who our favorite should be, because if it was me, I'd have Madman Mars in the top no matter what. But I have to accept he's not. But it's
You
just
gotta
who we
accept. He shouldn't
think.
even be on this list. That's what you need to accept.
You see, that's what I mean. I didn't put him on the list, but I wanted to. All right. But anyway, so I'm going to start with the girl from Sleepaway Camp. Do you know her name?
Fuck.
Is it
Uh,
Jane or something? Uh-oh.
Felissa. Well, I know the actress name is Felissa Rose, and let me see. Hold up, Angela.
Angela. That's it. Yeah.
Angela from
Right.
Sleepaway Camp.
Where would you say Angela deserves to go in this, and why?
Well, first of all, let's recap Sleepaway Camp. Can we talk about Sleepaway Camp just for a
You
little
sure
bit?
can.
All right, so for those of you that don't know, Sleepaway Camp is it's like a horror movie that's kind of like Friday the 13th. It's about this, it's a slasher film based on a campsite, but this one's a little bit different. This one is involving us following some little girl on this campsite, and it's really crazy how when you're watching this movie, they really make you hate everybody at that camp. You know, like most movies don't really
Like the
make you.
sexual predator who's cooking dinner.
Yeah, it's two of them too. So it's like there's just too many characters in this movie that make you just hate. Like you're just like, man, you know what? Y'all deserve to die. You know, like there's not too many people in this movie that don't deserve to die. But this movie is well known simply because of its ending, right? It has one of the most controversial endings. If you look up horror movies with the greatest twist, 9 times out of 10, Sleepaway Camp is going to pop up in any of those lists. So I just want to throw that out there. If you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, it's a very good slasher movie. Uh Feels like Jason-ish, but you know.
Well, it was only
But
about a year ago, because I had never seen this till about, I think it was last year or possibly the year before. It was you who was talking about it, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I could face it. Anyway, sat down. It was a hot summer. I got a bowl of ice cream and I sat down, and I remember I had the whole bowl of ice cream finished while I was watching. I was enjoying it so much. It's so much fun. It's ridiculous, but so much fun. And funny enough, I didn't quite see the ending coming. And I feel like I should have. But you know the face she pulls? I recognize that from being in the horror community and being around horror. I reckon straight away. I knew Now I know what that face and that the whole like look is about. But I watched the second and third and after that because I enjoyed the first so much, and they just like the ridiculous just becomes like absolute fucking stupidness. But I still had fun with
So
them.
I've heard. I haven't watched them, but I heard
They
they became.
they dropped the ball, but
Fun fact: I've actually met Felissa Rose, by the way.
yeah, she's on one of the recent ones, I think, as well. Apparently,
Yeah, dude, if you guys ever get a chance to meet Felissa Rose, do it. She's one of the fucking nicest people I've ever met. Like, and like any of these people that do the horror movies, like any of these horror celebrities, she's one of the nicest ones ever. Like, she's really, really like kind. So if you get a chance to meet her, yeah. And then every time she takes a picture with you, she does the face.
yeah.
She always does the face. She makes it she makes it
No, because a lot of these celebrities, as much as they could, they they don't like to recreate faces or say lines unless you pay them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
looking
the
at you, Peter Weller.
but you know what I mean? Like a lot of them won't do the iconic look or face and all that. I get it, but it's good that she do that. But
Yeah, she
where would
embraced
you
it.
put this? Where would you put her? Would you say she's iconic, killer, bloody good, memorable enough, slash and miss, rejects?
Oh, damn.
I know. You see,
It
because
sucks because like you want to just be like, look, I
all right,
have to
look,
be.
I'm going to break it down for you though.
Go ahead.
All right, look. So there's a series. There's a few of them. Each, and I can guarantee you, every single slasher franchise has a shitload of bad movies in it. Do you know, we're talking about Halloween, all that. So just because the rest of them are shit, and she's actually not in 3 or 4 of them, yeah, it doesn't mean it's not iconic. If you get what I mean, I what I'm saying is like because it's a one and done, it isn't really. There is a franchise, and the rest of them may not be great. Some people like him. It doesn't mean that she's not deserving. I'm not saying she should be. I'm just saying it's still that face. Even I knew that face.
Yeah, but Angela Baker is still the main character in Sleepaway Camp, isn't it? It's just played by a different person in
Different
the sequels.
in the 2 and 3, 4. She's different, but she actually comes back again. The same actress in part 4 or 5 or something.
No, but I
She
mean, but
does.
the character is still Angela Baker,
It's still the
right?
character throughout. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that what's that middle one again? Good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
The one is
I'm gonna say
bloody
that
good, bloody good.
bloody good. Wait, hold on. Wait, read them again. Slash and wait.
Iconic, killer, bloody good, memorable enough, slash a miss, and rejects.
Memorable enough. I'm gonna have to throw in a memorable enough. And the reason why is because I would love to give Angela Baker the iconic role because I mean, dude, it's like this is a suit, but let's be real. Sleepaway Camp was a super cult classic. I probably mentioned the name and none of you guys knew what the hell we're talking about. You probably seen her face, nobody knew who the hell we're talking about. But we have to be honest with ourselves. And the movie spawned what, like 5 sequels and a remake.
Yeah.
So I think that it's good enough to throw her in the memorable enough lane.
Well, I'm kind of with you on this because I remember it and I know the face. It just never stood out like Michael Myers or anything like that, and iconic. He was always there, but never really on the top list. She's somebody I didn't really know. I need that picture, if you get what I mean. So again, I don't think she deserves to be in the bottom categories, but for me, it's still I agree. But do you think she deserves to be in there, or is it just what you prefer to put her? If you know what I mean, do you think she deserves to be iconic?
Iconic, like at the top?
Yeah,
No,
I
not
mean,
at all. Because I think iconic is something that I think iconic will be something that has survived throughout the years and it's become a part of pop culture. Jason has become a part of pop culture because it's like if I show anybody a mask in another country, they're probably gonna be like, "Oh, I know who that is," or
yeah,
I can't. If I show somebody a picture of Angela, and if I'm walking down the streets of London and I'm just showing people a random a picture of Angela doing this, is
yeah.
somebody gonna know who the fuck that is? Probably
No,
not,
no.
But if I walk around with a picture of Jason, somebody's gonna know that he's in a horror movie. Oh, like yeah, he kills people. Maybe they'll know the name, maybe they won't. But the thing is, he'll be recognized. So yeah, she can't get that iconic role.
Okay, fair enough. And I agree with you. I feel like I really enjoyed that movie enough that I remembered it enough to make me watch the others, and they were shit. But I agree with you. I think people in the horror community know who she is, and I think that's fair. I think it's fair. Right. So moving along to Annabelle. Now I know what you feel, but it's where do you think she should be rather than like what you want her to be, if you get what I mean.
Bottom of the barrel. No, I'm just- um, fuck. This
It's
see it
tough.
sucks. Now I gotta remove my bias.
Yes, you do, because I'm the same as you. I feel like she had on The Conjuring, the first one, she was used really well. She wasn't the main character, she was used really well. But everything after that was just dog shit. I think there was one movie that wasn't bad. You know what I mean? I can't remember which one it was, one of her own movies. But I think the rest of the time she was never used well, and it never felt like it did in the first Conjuring. But it has spawned a shitload of sequels, you
It
know?
spawned 3 sequels, and in the fact that the character was so well received after the Conjuring movie, it spoke volumes. You know, you don't really see the one thing the Conjuring universe has had is an abundance of characters,
Yes.
and their characters that they've introduced have been well received because you have Annabelle, you have the Nun, you have all these other characters, and they're well received by audiences around.
Yeah.
So, as much as I hate Annabelle, as much as I don't like the movies, I gotta say that she's damn near iconic. I don't think she's iconic yet, but she's like damn near. So I might
Yeah.
have to throw her in the killer category specifically because I think that she's become a household name,
Yeah.
but I think that she just lacks the classic films to make her iconic.
Well, again, I agree with you. I feel like she's not quite iconic. I feel like she's on the way. If I had my way, I'd probably throw her into slash and miss or rejects. The reason why is I do think she was really good on the first Conjuring. I really do, and I thought it was used really well. It's creepy as fuck. I was
And
even
also the
getting
second Annabelle creation.
yeah, but as I say, so that's why it's not quite wouldn't go in the bottom for me. But again, I don't think she's Michael Myers. Not saying we're putting Michael Myers in there, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying is, but she's not quite there. I agree with you on this. I again, killer. I feel she's not, yeah, she's not quite iconic, but she's definitely climbing the ladder, you
Yeah,
know?
I think she needs. I think iconic. There's a have to be a couple of things that embody that. You have to be well known, and then you also have to have good fucking films. It's like I mean, you got to have
I
good
think
films.
one more good, if she had one really good film, he would send her up there. Really good film.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. I think it depends on how good that film had to be.
I mean, no, if she had one good film, really good film, like that would
So
all she'd need now at this point, like, you know. But again, there you go. You know, we all think different, but at the moment, I'm agreeing with you. Right, Mr. Creeper himself. What would you say?
fuck. He's probably gonna have to go next to Angela. Um, or maybe he'll be in Bloody Good. I'm debating. He's either gonna be in Bloody Good or what was it? What's that one that Angela's in? Good enough or memorable enough?
Yeah,
I think he might end up being next to Angela. And the reason why is because although he is a household name, I feel like the legacy of the director is outshining uh his notability. So we all know Jeepers Creepers. I mean, it was a super smash, low-key kind of hit that came out in the 2000s, starring what is it, Jason Long, right?
yeah,
And it spawned a sequel, which was sequel was well received. But then it just kind of like faded into obscurity, and we all wondered kind of why. And then the what happened with the director started to get out, and how he was a sex offender and a child predator, and that kind of like tarnished the films. So what ended up happening was they ended up re-releasing the movie, not re-releasing, but
rebooting
somebody
it.
else got the rights to the movies, and they made it during the pandemic, and it was fucking horrible. And because of that, because of that, that was the only chance in my eyes to revitalize him. He probably would have landed in Bloody Good, but because oh yeah, and then I forgot they even had a part three. I haven't even seen part three,
I have, yeah.
and you said it was terrible as well too. So
There was moments though. There was a couple of moments where it was all right, but in general, it's based between one and two, so it's set between just after the first, when Jason Long has taken off, and the third or two, sorry, before the school bus, and it just it's just it's dead. It's dead. But anyway, regardless.
It started off really well. The Creeper has great lore. It's a very original character. I mean, but at the same time, the last couple of movies have kind of have clipped his wings. So I think that if the third movie would have been good and then this last movie would have been shit, we would have been like, okay, well, I can live with that because it's a different director, it's a different team behind it. But the last two movies have been shit. So I think I'm gonna put him. I think he belongs next to Angela. Is memorable enough.
All right. Well, this is where we're gonna disagree, and I don't know how to work this now, really. But I'm gonna have to leave it to the viewers to decide, or we can just talk about it after.
We can just rock paper scissors for it, but go ahead, put your point.
All right. Yeah. No, we could do that. And I'll edit it to make it look like I won. But what I was gonna say was, right. I think he deserves to go in killer. Now, hear me out. People in the horror community who do like him, when he goes to a Comic-Con, there is a queue for the actor. I don't know his name. There's a queue for him. Now, people in the horror community know about the tarnishedness and they know about 3 and the remake. But a lot of people who I know, friends who don't really watch horror movies and don't do that, know who he is and know the first 2 really well. The fact that certain people in my life that know these characters speaks volumes, and it's more than one. Now, iconic, I think he needs another good film to be in there, right? But I do think that enough people know about him. He's made a name to the point where people I know, if my grandmother knows who he is, then that's something. But she's dead now, so But anyway, the point is that if people like that know who he is, to me that means he's up there. They wouldn't know Annabelle or Angela, but they know who that is. And for me, regardless of how I feel about the other movies, I feel like for me he goes into killer. But I see your point too, if you get what I mean. It's just like you said, if somebody, an 18-year-old knew who he is, people that don't watch horror movies and knows who he is, to me that's enough. So do you want to do your rock paper scissors?
Now, you know what? Look here. This is gonna settle it for us. And I'm gonna say that I recant my statement, and I think I side with you. Jeepers Creepers Reborn made $6 million, and we all knew that movie was shit, even looking at the trailer. So, with that being said, if people are willing to pay $6 million to watch this movie, then he deserves to be in the killer category. So go ahead and put him up there, because I had to really think.
I see your point. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I think of people who don't like people who don't watch horror or action or sci-fi and read books and all that. And if they know certain characters, that means something to me. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because
And they know who he is. So
if his character was able to make $6 million,
on that
and
remake,
yeah, that remake made
but
$6
they're
million.
only going because they like the first 2, and I'd say like to see what happened in another one. But I'll put him into killer then. Glad you
Yeah,
agree.
so I think if people went and watched that movie even knowing that it was shit, yeah. All right, moving on.
All right, we got the Nun.
All right, this is gonna be our first icon, and the reason why I want to put in
Really?
think of icon, I don't like the movies. But you know what? Damn, but then I'll be kind of contradicting myself
I
because
feel like she's on Annabelle's.
yeah, you know what? I'm not. Never mind. Okay, look, I'm gonna have to take my feelings out of this.
That's what the whole point of this.
Because even though I feel like I don't like the movies, they still made a butt ton of money, dude. Like that's one of the most lucrative franchises in the Conjuring universe. And I feel like the nun character has
It's creepy as fuck.
it's
As a
creepy as well.
character.
It's creepy as hell. But yeah, you know what? That's a tough one. I think that I look, even though I don't like the movies, obviously other people like the movies. It's not about what I like, it's about what other people like as well, too. So the fact that people knew that first movie sucked, right? And I heard people complain about the first movie, and yet they still went back and watched the second movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear great things about that movie either. But both of those movies almost made like what $500 million almost. So I think that we might have to go ahead and throw the Nun in the icon category.
Iconic.
But I don't think so. Me personally, like if I had to personally choose, I don't
think she's.
think so. But I mean, you know,
I don't think
I
she.
think I think she has the world recognition, and I think that she has the two films with the again, even though I feel like the movie shit, other people like the movies. This might be an icon for this next generation and not an icon for my generation. You get what I'm saying?
Um, I thought she was she or he, like it's a she, isn't it? Yeah, of course, none.
Valak, yeah.
Yeah, Valak. I think in the second Conjuring, which I liked, I thought she was used really well. Again, like Annabelle, it was used really well, and the excitement for the movie that came out after was quite high for me. I was like, yes, this could be good. Great. She's a freaky ass character, but film was shit. And then, but it made money. And then the second one I watched recently, I had high hopes for it. I don't know. I felt like they knew what they'd done wrong, and they're gonna do something about. Nah, did they fuck? It was better than the first, but only by a little. I don't. I feel like she's in with Annabelle. I don't think she's quite iconic. Again, with people, friends, they don't know her. They know Annabelle over her. Do you know the nun?
I don't know about that. I think a lot of people know who the Nun is.
I
I
just
mean,
don't think she's up with
even
Jason and all that just yet.
no, I know. See, but this is the thing. Again, like, even though I don't like the Nun's character, even though I'm not a fan of like the movies or whatever, I have to. I mean, this might not be. I'm taking my bias out of it. You know, like this
Oh yeah,
might not
I'm
be an
going to
icon
do
for
that.
my. This might not be an icon from my generation, but this might be this next generation's icon because it made a lot of money. People were terrified of the
Did it
movies,
make
and there's
more
people
than
that like
Annabelle?
those movies, huh?
It made a lot more than Annabelle, didn't it?
I mean, let's compare the first. We will only be able to compare the first two movies, but let's see. The
If it made
Nun
more than Annabelle, then I'll go.
series.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's go to Box Office Mojo. Let's go to Box Office Mojo. Let me type in the Nun. So the Nun, the first Nun made 366 million, and the Nun 2 made 269 million. And guys, the reason why a lot of people are probably like using the Marvel numbers.
Yeah,
You got to look at the budget. You got to look at the budget when you see these. Like that's a shitload of money when you look at the budget.
yeah. A
And
lot
then
of
let's
people
look at
think if you don't hit
Annabelle.
$1 billion, it was a flop.
Yeah, but it's like, come on, these movies are taking like 10 million to make, and it's making 200 and something million. It's crazy. The first Annabelle made 257 million. Annabelle Creation made 306 million, and then Annabelle Come Home made 231 million. So
And not
let me
far off
see,
each other.
257.
They're not
So the
far off.
first Nun made more than the first Annabelle. The first Nun made more than a first Annabelle. The Annabelle Creation made, I believe, Annabelle Creation made more than the second Nun.
That's what I'm
So
saying. It's like it should be in with kind of Annabelle. What I was saying is, but then Annabelle had a couple of more movies than the Nun as well,
yeah,
didn't it?
Annabelle had one more movie,
Yeah,
and it made kind of the same amount as the first movie.
that's why I'm like, all right, I'll
All right,
put it in.
we'll rock paper scissors for it.
All right, go on then. Let's do
All right,
it.
let's go.
Right.
Rock paper scissors shoot.
All right. I should put my hands up a bit more.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
Oh, come on, man. We could do this all day.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, go.
All right, you
I
win.
got you. All right, put her in icons.
Iconic. All right.
Even though again I don't believe it.
I
But
know,
I mean,
I know.
yeah.
And part of me gets
You
it.
put her. You put her in. Oh, okay.
Part of me gets it. It's just when I think of Michael Myers and Freddy and all that, I'm like, all right. But anyway.
Do we even gotta talk about? Okay, is this just Pennywise in general, or is this that Pennywise?
All right. So that's a good point. I think Pennywise in general,
Uh,
really.
throw him in icons.
Yeah.
There's that's not even a debate. Like, there's no debate about it. He already had an iconic character with the freaking Tim Curry one.
Before,
People
yeah,
already
I
knew
agree.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
People already knew who he was, and then the Bill Skarsgård one just kind of like overkilled it.
And
All
the
right.
fact that was good too, do you know what I mean? So it kind of
The
cemented
first
it.
one was really good. The second one was okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the
But
fact that they're going to make another, they're talking about making a show to kind of
that's
expand
been
on
going on
it.
for years. I don't know what's going on there. But again, even if you didn't like the second one or if you didn't like the original, you can't not everyone knows that Pennywise the Clown at this point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whether you like him or not, there you go. But yeah, all right, and that was quick and easy.
Who's that?
All right, these guys are the killers, the hillbilly, whatever you call them, from Wrong Turn.
Oh fuck. Um, Next to Angela, it has to be. I
Really?
mean, it spawned a bunch of sequels, but you have to understand that the hillbilly don't they always change in every movie?
They don't. I think it's. Yeah, I
It's
think
not
that.
the same ones in every
Yeah,
movie. It's
yeah, yeah,
definitely different ones.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're definitely because I don't know. Is it a budget thing? The makeup looks different. They can't afford to do the same ones. The actors are different. I don't know, or is it a different family? But in general, I think we should stick with maybe the original just to make it easier. And I
Yeah, because I
like
think
the
the only
original.
one that's like really repetitive is the one I think it's like Three Fingers or something. The one that shoots the arrows. That's the only one I think that pops up in more
Oh
than
yeah,
one.
yeah. I think he's. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get through most of them because I didn't. I thought they were awful. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
they
like
are
the first
definitely.
one. I thought the first one was a hell of a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah.
But I memorable,
You know
ye
what? Yeah, like
I don't think they stick out like even Angela does as a characters in general. The film maybe more than the characters, do you know?
yeah, I guess I was thinking more along the franchise, but if this is yeah, you're right. This is a character list. So if it's character, dude, we put them at the bottom of the barrel because they never really establish an
Yeah, I
iconic.
do remember him, but I've seen the film a few times, but in general, would you remember him over Leatherface? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
it's not
yeah.
really iconic at all. Yeah, we're gonna
Sorry
throw
for the
you out the
people
box.
who liked it, but I do like the first film a lot. I've seen it a few times. I just don't think the characters deserve to
Yeah, because
be.
this is about the characters, not the this is
Yeah,
about the characters and not the franchise. So if we're looking at the originals, like I mean, I can't even tell you the name of the character. The only one I remember is the one that shoots the bow and arrow. That's it. Other than that, I can't tell you. All right, who's next? Who's that?
I think I actually don't remember this picture, but I think this is Children of the Corn. So no, it isn't.
I'm like, that doesn't look like Children of the Corn. Who the
That's
hell is
a terrible
that?
picture.
Oh, that's from Black Christmas.
There you go, Black Christmas. Yeah, the character because there's been
The
a
the the mystery
bunch.
killer in Black
Yeah,
Christmas.
all
All
right.
right.
So there's been a
Are
bunch
we
of
talking about we're talking
films.
about the original or are we talking about the remake?
Wasn't it the same character?
Okay, so okay, here we go. So the original, there's one killer. In the 2000s remake, there's two killers, and then I didn't watch that third one because the third one is
Probably.
completely different. So I guess let's just run with the OG.
Okay.
Um, although I love Black Christmas and it kind of set off the whole holiday slasher thing. Um,
I mean, this
I'm
was
gonna have
pre. What year did this come out? Was it late 70s, early 80s?
it has to be late 70s because it inspired Halloween.
Oh, it
I
was
think
before
that
Halloween.
that I think he goes next to Angela.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you in general because I don't love this movie, and I again only see it for the first time about 2, 3 years ago, and I
What? You
enjoyed it.
don't love hey, Black Christmas is good. You tripping. That's a
I
great
didn't.
movie.
I there was just a bit long in places for me, and I didn't. I know I like it enough. I just didn't love it as much as Beloved, but
The
I did like the
2000s
character.
remake isn't as bad as I thought. I thought the 2000s remake was going to be shit, and it wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty entertaining. Now, the
But
one that comes after that, the one that's by Blumhouse, I don't know. I heard that one is complete dog shit. But the one in the 2000s that came out, that one I heard is pretty good.
I don't think he's super memorable, but I do think, like you said, I've read and heard that this film did spawn and it was kind of helped towards Halloween as well. Like, you know what I mean? They were inspired by it as well, along with Psycho and stuff. But I know, but apparently
But they've
this,
all, and then you have to think about it. Look for it must be something in this movie if it spawned two remakes.
yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah,
that's
and it
another thing
doesn't. Yeah,
too.
I agree. So, where do you want to put it?
Next to Angela.
Yeah, I think it deserves to be in. Yeah, I agree. Just for what it's achieved alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What are we talking about with this next one? Put Todd at the top. We're not even going.
All right, okay. Do you know why we should put? Do you want to know why we should put Todd at the top? Right? Do you want to know why?
Because
Apart
it's
from
Todd,
the fact
man.
that he is a fucking nice guy, which Mister from the '80s knows firsthand. Yeah, and if you check out his channel, you'll see. But not only is he just iconic in the horror genre alone, the actor I'm talking about, and this is not even the character we're playing Candyman, right? He is like I was even watching Star Trek, him on it there a couple of nights ago. Yeah, this guy, his face. If you don't know who he is, you don't deserve to be known in the horror community at all. But what I'll say is that Candyman, I snuck in to see this when I was a kid, and because I didn't know much about it at the time, because the trailers, I didn't see the trailer, I just see the hook and all that shit. It terrified me so much that I remembered it for years, and then when I got it again years later, it's just iconic. There are scenes in this film that you'd only have to see once to never forget. Do you get what I mean?
That shit terrified me as a kid,
Yeah.
hands down. Like, like that shit scared me.
He's just and what was it like him standing in the background, a big bass in his voice? What did he say? What was the girl saying?
Helen. Are you talking about Be My Victim?
Helen, be perfect. Do you know, like I'm just saying is, and he plays it so good. He he's just so good. Now, the second and third are shite. It is, yeah.
No, I wouldn't say all that. They have
I
their
mean, it's
own.
been a while, but I just remember not enjoying them. But I
The
do
second
remember
one was
enjoying
good
him.
because it gives a background to him. The third one isn't all that great, but it has
But
its moments.
regardless, he's still good on them.
Oh
Him
yeah,
and the
definitely.
character, do you see, doesn't matter at the film. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying is, alone, Tony Todd should be an iconic, just him. But we're going with the character, and I think we both agree here. There's just
He's
no,
iconic,
it's
hands
not even
down.
a doubt. I should have just started it off with him in it. Do you know what I mean? But there you go, Mr. Todd. Well deserved. Right,
Who's that?
boy.
Oh shit! Look, all right. Even though I know he's not going to land high on his list, but the fact that this movie spawned freaking what, like 5 to 6 sequels,
Quite a few.
and Angus, and then people put so much respect on Mr. Angus Grimm's name, and I mean, the movie is crazy because this movie just had an anniversary, like recently. And look, if you guys haven't seen Phantasm, you should go watch it. And the biggest reason why I want to throw this out there is because Phantasm has one of the best remastered movies I've ever seen in my life. I watched the remastered Phantasm that was on DVD, and that shit looked like a Blu-ray. I know you don't see that too often. The director took the movie, went back, cleaned it up, and that shit looked so crisp. It looked amazing. If you haven't seen that movie, I would go ahead and say go watch it. But where does Phantasm land on this list? I think he's on Bloody Good.
Really?
I think he's Bloody Good. Sound British as shit.
Well,
Bloody Good.
it sounds like Michael Caine. He bloody deserves to be right where he is. Right, that's it. Right. Bloody good. Right. You see, I'm relatively new to Phantasm. When I say relatively, maybe within the last 10 years. Yeah. Never really grew up with it. So I wasn't a big fan. But being in the horror community, he is beloved. You know, he's just, and he's not the film, well, the films too, but just the character alone. I think for me, he met, like, again, I'm not attached to him or anything. I'm only going by what I've heard over the last few years. People love this movie and they love his character, Tall Man. Yeah.
The tall
And
man.
for me, I feel he's not quite iconic, but I
Dude,
feel
even that theme.
that's some 70s shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like he deserves to be in Killer. It's just for the beloved fans of his. Now, again, if you've spoken to people like an 18-year-old today, have you seen Phantasm? Do you know who the tall man? They wouldn't know. But I do think he's worked his way into be Killer. I think he's up there. And even if I wouldn't put him there, I feel like he's worked his way up to it.
I
But
mean,
you
but
want
then you gotta look, you have to look at the company that he will be sitting with in Killer. I feel like Jeepers Creepers and Annabelle, if I showed them to random people, I would get at least a good portion of those people that would say they know who he is. As much as
No,
I love Angus
yeah,
Grimm's Tall Man,
I know,
as
I know.
much as I love Angus Grimm's Tall Man, and I'm a
This is
huge
actually
fan
a
of
horrible
him.
fucking list we're doing. You know that I hate doing this shit, but yeah,
Yeah.
I know what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
because it
Yeah,
tells us that look, if this list would look completely different if it was just like I could just do whatever I want. But you have to think about
yeah, no, you're
their
right.
world, you have to look at their worldwide acceptance. And because of that, you have look at the company that he will be with Annabelle and Creeper. And I can't say that. Look, I was at a convention uh with Wishmaster and Reggie from Phantasm was at that convention.
Yeah, Reggie. Yeah,
Reggie's booth was empty, bro. Like a lot of there's a very it's a very niche audience for that character.
but
If,
they
if
love him strong.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, there's a niche audience, yeah. And I mean, but the thing is, like, the cool thing about it was the people that do love Phantasm and they went and talked to him. They got a nice amount of time to sit next to him and talk to him and really just chop it up with him. So that was cool. But I think he's in Bloody Good.
All right, I'm gonna go with that because you made me think. If I spoke to certain friends again, they would know who he was, and
Yeah, exactly. So I
yeah,
think he's in Bloody Good. I think respectively putting him in Bloody Good.
all right. Just yeah.
Rest in peace to
Okay,
Mr.
I'm
Angus
gonna go
Grimm.
with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue. Right. There you go, Mr. Toolman.
What
Right.
icon? Why we ain't even talking about it? You can throw him in an icon. You can throw the next two in him. Throw the next one in icon as well too.
I
We
know,
don't
but
even have to talk about it.
All right, so like I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if you know this, but do you know Silence of the Lambs, the first one, that he's in it for just under 10 minutes in the whole film?
Really, it feels like he's like it's kind
All
of it
you
reminds me of Heath Ledger's Joker. How much he
Yeah,
just like
but all you do is remember him. I mean, obviously Jodie Foster was in it and all that shit, but if you when you say Silence of the Lambs, first thing pops in your head is that picture right there, you know? And Anthony Hopkins with his lava beans and a nice bottle of Chianti shit. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you have to go very far in the world
that.
to find someone, yeah, who doesn't know that him and all that. Whether you like him or not, and if you don't like the film, it's fine because not all of them are good. Well, actually,
I've
the
been wanting to rewatch Red Dragon.
Red Dragon actually wasn't bad. It was actually pretty
I
good.
don't. I remember it being pretty decent. So I don't know.
And it also had a there was a film before Silence of the Lambs was Manhunter and all that, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I own it somewhere. I think I own it on
but
Blu-ray or some
so
shit.
he's had, and then there was a spin-off of there was the guy who died recently. They made a like a prequel, didn't they? It was called Rising, Hannibal Rising or something. Anyway,
Yeah,
regardless,
there was
he wasn't in
Hannibal. There's Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon, Hannibal Rising. Yeah,
that guy, that
and then
young
they had
guy
the TV
who
show as well
died.
too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. I liked the first season. The second lost me. But anyway, regardless, I don't think we can argue here whether we like him or not. He's made his mark, and 10 minutes in the first film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead and throw Robert in there
All
too. I
right. All
don't
right.
know
All
why
right.
he playing.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these is easy. Like we could just go ahead and throw him in there. He's
I know,
Robert
but
in there.
um, even though Robert England, all right, in general, he's been in so many horror movies, and isn't just Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's the actor in
I
general.
didn't know that fool directed. He directed a horror movie. Like it's like Dow one something evil or some shit. I think he directed that one.
Oh yeah, I think he was in it too.
Probably.
All right.
That's the only
Also,
way you can get people to watch it.
his wife, who he's been with for a very long time, like since the early 80s or something, I found out recently. Now, I don't know, is it the screenplay or the story? She wrote Lost Boys.
Really?
Yeah. You know, and I was like, talented family right there. I wonder what the kids will be like if you don't murder them. But I was gonna say is just Freddie, not all the films are top tier. Yeah, but he is good on all of them. Even if he's doing his comical version, which I prefer the darker tone, even if he does his comical version, it's still he's still funny and he's still Freddy and it's still iconic. In fact, he's debatable, probably the most iconic debate, arguably. along with a few others we'll get to in a while. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we have like there's like a big three.
even people who don't like him, there's nobody in the world who don't know him. So that's enough for me. He deserves it. So who's next? All right. Okay. So this is tough one for me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're biased as shit.
Yes. All right. For anyone who don't know, we're talking about The Omen, Damien the Child, right? So I love The Omen. It's probably one of my favorite horrors, if not arguably one of number one. But two is really good too. It's really good. Three is all right, and there's a four. And now, as you know, we're doing the
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 new
new one,
movie.
the first Omen, whatever you call it. Now, iconic killer.
No.
See, right? People know the
I
movie.
think people remember the movie more than the character.
Yes, and they know of the evil child. Though they may not even know the name, but the child with the 666 on its head, but
Yeah.
not quite. They wouldn't be able to tell you he's got knives on his hands or he's burnt or anything like. It's just a kid who can't remember it. The film's probably more iconic than. Sorry, the film. Yeah, is more iconic
The
than.
film is more iconic, and then the controversy around the film is iconic
Yes,
as well
yes,
too.
yes. But it kills me because if it was my choice, he'd be going iconic, hands down. But
Yeah.
being where is he in if you think about friends and kids today who would know him, and I think they may have heard of it, but they wouldn't know him like they do iconic. So I'm gonna go bloody good.
Yeah, we could throw him in bloody good.
Yeah, it's just again, it's the one film that people remember. Nobody even knows there's a bunch of sequels. Do you know what I mean? And it for me it deserves more, but you know what? It's done well enough to get a few sequels and a prequel coming now. Maybe the prequel changed things, you know? Maybe it's going to be brilliant. But and trust me, anyone who's screaming watching this going, you have to think of if you've spoken to an 18-year-old or a 20 or anyone in their 20s and say, have you seen The Omen? They probably haven't, you know? And it kills me. So don't hate me for it because I hate myself. All right. But anyway, moving along. All
Who's
right.
that?
We have Ghostface.
Oh shit. Iconic.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just pull the iconic characters out of this list to make this easier on us.
Yeah.
Are you okay with doing that?
Well, no,
Or do you really
because
want to
I'm
go?
not
Or like, do you
sure.
really want to
I'm
stick
not
to?
gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna agree with you on all of them.
No, we can debate about it. But I mean, I
Right.
think
All right.
that
All right. Let me grab the iconic just for everyone. All right. So we have
Jason,
Ghostface. Right. Jason. Yeah.
Michael Myers for sure. And then
What about
there's a one or two that we might debate about. Michael, Chucky for sure.
Saw? I want to leave that. We
No, let's
argue.
leave that one.
Yeah.
Chucky and
Leatherface.
Leatherface for sure.
Leatherface.
Chucky and Leatherface for sure.
Chucky. You know what?
And
I've got
then
enough room here.
I know. Now look, okay. These are one. Look, I feel like there's three more icons on this list. Pinhead. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Pinhead goes up there. Now the next one, you may or may not agree. Shit, who's that? Wait, Jigsaw, Leprechaun.
Jigsaw.
Who's that next to Who's that next to fucking Oh, that's the okay, I know who that is.
Bloody
I think the
Valentine.
next hold on, I think the next icon is Art the Clown. Now, this is where the little debate shit comes.
Yeah, all right.
I think that Terrifier 2 has solidified this motherfucker as an icon simply because his image and the fact that that movie made what like 15 times its budget, and it's already getting a part 3, and the part 3 has hella buzz, and this shit is the definition of homegrown. They literally had crowdfunding for the first movie, and
your dog agrees.
Yeah, get in the bed. She tripping. Hey, get in bed. Anyway, so this movie was crowdfunded. The first 2 movies were crowdfunded, and because of that, they eventually Art the Clown definitely has hit the iconic thing simply because what the movie did in the small amount of time that it did, and the fact that his face is now recognizable. I mean, I have children that were like, I had a sticker. I have a Terrifier sticker on my water bottle, and I had children like, "Oh, that's that one clown. I seen that movie." And I'm like, "What the? You seen this movie?" And they're like, "Yeah, I saw that movie. He's scary." Children have seen this movie. So once you get into the realm of like you have the teenage audience or the younger generation, it's a wrap. You're an icon.
All right. Well, I don't think he's there yet. All right.
We're okay. Where would you put him?
All right. I put him in killer. All right. I do. If I had to choose, I'd put him in icon. But the thing is that I don't think he's reached, and I do think he's reaching, but I don't think he's quite reached that audience yet. I think he's on the way. I don't think
Nah,
he's.
you have to see his this. Okay, look, this is gonna solidify it. His line was almost as long as Robert England's line.
Oh, I don't doubt it, and especially with the recent movie as well. That was like I'm telling you, I would put him in iconic. It's just when I speak to people in general, nobody compared to Freddy and Jason and all those, they don't know him yet, and I feel like he's on the way. It won't be long, and I think after the next film, he'll probably be up there.
We're
I
gonna have to
just
rock
don't
paper
think
scissors for it, man.
we're gonna have to, but I just don't think he's in. I just and it pains me, but I just don't see him in iconic just yet. He's close, but all right, let's rock paper scissors this.
All right, on 5. All right.
All right, all right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that didn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. You got me. All right,
All right.
killer.
I hate doing it. I really do. Yeah, and I think of all the characters that are here so far that may stay dormant where they are, no matter what they do, he's the one that even without another film will actually end up there at some point. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sorry, mate.
It's all good. Hold on. Oh my
I
god, this
think he's
dog is tripping.
nearly there. We're running out of roof iconics. I don't know what will happen after the next two, but
Well, I don't think it's 2 more. I think the only other debatable one is because that's the collector, right?
that's collector. Yeah,
Who's the one that's next to Ben Willis?
we got this one here is Children of the Corn.
Okay, yeah, we ain't worried about that.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, Ben Willis.
This is the Strangers.
Okay.
Strangers.
Okay.
What's her face from X?
Pearl.
Pearl. You know the little girl.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so all right. The only other person I could think of that's iconic, possibly would be Jigsaw. But that's debatable.
No,
but,
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree. Like you see, it's like there's the character Jigsaw, and then there's the what do you call it? The puppet. What do you call him?
Billy.
Like which they're kind of the same person, the two different. But anyway, yeah. But regardless, I think after 10 movies, he's
now about to be 11.
Yeah, I think after 10 movies, he's whether you like the films or not.
The fact that we the fact that this motherfucker was dead and we was still like, hey, still going to watch his movies says a lot. All right, so now it's just really it's easy pickings now.
All right. Ish. I think we're still going to argue in a couple, but all right. Next one up is My Bloody Valentine. What's his name?
Harry Warden.
Harry Warden. What do you think?
He would go on the same list as Bloody Good.
Really?
It's either going to be Bloody Good or the list with Felissa Rose. Memorable. The only reason I say Bloody Good is because he was able to spawn a freaking sequel years after the original came out.
Do you know what? I keep forgetting I actually forgot completely. There was an 80s version of it. I just
yeah, the original is the 80s version, and then the remake is the 3D one.
Yeah. I would actually put it in as memorable enough because I just don't feel the characters. I remember him, I do, and I remember he was pretty vicious when he turned up. But unless you said his name, I'd never think of him. Unless I just wouldn't think of that film or the original 80s, you know. So I do think he's memorable enough.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Put him in memorable enough. It's funny how that one underneath them is just empty.
Oh, we've still got a few to go.
Slash and miss.
Yeah, memorable enough.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the leprechaun.
Definitely killer.
I agree. I feel like he's he's borderline on icon because Warwick Davis, and it spawned a shitload of movies, and I actually liked them because they're just so ridiculous. It's just the funny, but
That was a staple in the TV, the tape rental places. Leprechaun was a moneymaker in the rental places.
all
Like,
right, yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. I
So
just know that everyone seems to know him. Whether they've seen all the movies or not, they know who he is, and he's Lucky Charms and all that. And
Lucky
I feel
Charms.
like he's not quite top tier. And there was a remake, wasn't terrible either, but I do feel that we
Yep,
spoke
and they're
about.
remaking it again.
Yeah,
Lionsgate is remaking it
yeah,
again.
I agree with you. I think Killer, and you know what? That's good. Killer is good. You
It's
know,
not bad.
look who you in with. All right, this is where we're gonna fall out. Norman Bates,
Killer,
Psycho. What are
killer,
you gonna say? You're gonna say Killer.
killer.
I was gonna say Icon.
I knew you were. I
I know.
mean, at the
And
end
it's
of the
not
day,
because I
like,
love him. It's not because I love him in the films and what.
he's
I
look, he's an icon because he started it all. Like,
yes, but it's
he
a
he
good movie too.
he's a stepping stone. He's the template for what we know now as
And we
slashers.
got
So
a
you know
TV
what?
show, TV series,
You know what?
Courtney.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's an icon simply because he's the blueprint.
Yeah, but it's not just that. He's had 5 movies and a TV series, a very successful TV series, 5 seasons, you know?
Which
I hate
shows that his character in a property uh was
yeah,
able to even generate money years later down the line. So that's
yeah,
good.
and he, you know, he's arguably the first slasher, but, you know,
You know what?
arguably.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just simply because I
Of
forgot
what
about
he's
that TV
done,
show.
yeah. What he's
The
done,
TV show was very successful, even though it
yeah,
got canceled. Even though it got canceled. But yeah, but a lot of people liked it, and it shows that it was able to kind of blend to a new audiences.
what's her name?
Oh, Esther.
Esther. Esther, tricky.
Memorable
You
enough.
liked the first one, didn't you? I thought it was alright.
I like the first one is fucking dope, and the
Yeah,
second one
I
was
thought it
cool
was alright.
too.
I liked the second one, it caught me off guard. I
Yeah,
was
the second one was
really
fun. They
impressed.
did something different.
Yeah, it was good.
I say memorable enough.
I'm
I
gonna
think it
say
was I think it's a cool idea. It's a great idea.
I do
It's
think
cool. It's a
she
cool
could
character.
end up being an icon. I think the potential is there if they can carry on with those kind of movies, you know,
Nah.
but
I don't think that. I mean, I love their filming style, but I can't see them. I feel like them. The what is not too much you could do with this character at this
well,
point.
I would have said that, but the second one kind of took me off guard, and I was
Yeah, I
like,
know,
not expecting
but
that, so
now,
I'm thinking she could carry on like
can you
that.
come up with 5 other ways to do something like that?
I
Probably
can't
not.
see it.
You're gonna run out of ideas quick.
And she's gonna get
So
too old as well, but,
exactly, she's gonna be a
it's gonna
granny.
change. But yeah, I agree. Memorable enough. Yeah, memorable enough. All right, Pearl,
Fuck.
the character. I mean, which would be an X as well,
We're
wouldn't it?
talking about Pearl, right? We're not talking about. Oh
Pearl,
yeah, because it's the same. It's even an old lady. So even if
which
you
I
do it, the
didn't
old
know
lady.
until you told me after I watched Pearl. I didn't realize, you know.
Yeah, that's the old
Um,
lady from the first one.
no, I remember you saying you didn't enjoy Pearl, or I actually did. I liked it. I
I
thought,
okay. As a, I enjoyed the cinematography. The movie
yeah, it was
itself is
really
fucking
nice.
stupid.
Yeah,
The movie itself is fucking stupid. It's dumb.
I know.
Um, I'm gonna put her in slash and miss.
I'm gonna exactly where I'm gonna put. Even though I thought X was all right. It was good. It was different. I liked it. It felt like Chainsaw Massacre a little bit in parts. You know, that 70s vibe and all that shit, right? But I didn't find the old woman in the end more memorable than anyone. And then, but I did enjoy Pearl. I did, but not enough to remember it again. It's. I remember seeing it. I couldn't tell you specific moments of it. I have no rush to go and see it again. I would watch another. I would say it's not the greatest, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
because a
agree
lot
with
of people didn't like the whole old lady thing. A lot of people didn't like it, and they said that shit was stupid. That was one of the biggest critiques. Like, oh, this person's they're getting killed by some old ass lady, like running around naked and shit. That's stupid. And then you have to understand that Pearl, regardless of her being young in that one right there, is still the same person in X. So you have to keep that in mind. And I think a lot of people's bias might come from the fact that they like Mia Goth, and you have to take your bias out of it, dude. I mean, I just, if it was up to me, I don't like Mia Goth at all. Her ass would be at the bottom of this list. So you lucky that you even getting a slash and miss from me. So don't be in the conversation talking about, oh, you're biased. You don't like Mia Goth. You made videos talking shit about her. Of course,
Well,
yeah, I
I
did.
don't mind her. I just don't know her. I just saw her
I
in
don't look,
something else.
man.
I saw her in some other
I
shit.
don't like her. She ruined the fuck out of Infinity Pool. Have you
That's the
seen
one
it?
I watched.
Have you
Yes,
seen
that's the other
Infinity
thing I
Pool?
saw it.
She
Yeah, it was just
ruined that.
it was
That movie
just like
has so much potential, dude. But she sat there and
it
like,
felt like it was gonna be really
John,
good, you
John,
know?
John. What was his name? Charles.
I
What was the
don't
dude's
know,
name?
but it just felt like it was going to be really good, and then it just took a turn and it was shit the rest of the movie.
No, it's just her. Like, I think that if she wasn't in the movie, it would have made it so much better, dude. She ruined that. James, that's what it was. James,
Any real thing I've
James.
seen her in, to be honest with you, apart from Infinity Pool, is Pearl. So I don't have an opinion on the girl at the moment. All I can say is that Pearl, as much as I enjoyed the film, I mean, when I say enjoyed it more than I expected, it ain't super great, and I'm happy enough to put it into slash and miss. Sorry for fans of it. It's not that I hated it, it's just the way we feel. And it's not all right. It's not my own bias either. Yeah. It's how I feel because nobody else in the horror community raves about this. Like, so, I think it deserves to go in
They
there. I'm
like
not
the
just
film. They don't like the character.
I don't even hear much people raving about the film. I've
A
when it
lot
came
of
out,
people like a lot of people rave about Pearl, but it's
okay.
mostly because of the film and like the cinematography. And it's like, here's the thing. This is what I've noticed, and I don't want to make it too much of a big idea, but I noticed that horror fans aren't used to cinema. They're not used to like real cinematography, real filming and shit like that. So when they see it in a horror movie, it blows them the fuck away. Me and you, like, that's the problem when people like just like certain people just like niche shit when they're like, you just watch horror and that's it. Me and you watch film. So we know what like good film and good cinematography is like what it's supposed to be. So when we see it in horror
Oh,
movies,
that's
we're like, oh, we appreciate it, but we can still differentiate the two and be like, yo, this is still a shit ass movie because I know what a good storyline and good cinematography is. Horror movies don't typically have good cinematography. So when I think horror fans see good cinematography, they get kind of biased and it blows them away because they're not used to seeing that shit. But I'm just talking about like horror fans that like only stay within the genre. So like a lot of people get mad because people like Hereditary and they're like, oh, you just like it because it's like it's a movie, and it's just like, nah, dude, like that movie embodied a good story, a good script, and great cinematography. So it's like it's an all-around good movie. But I digress. So people see, I think the reason why people overhype Pearl is because they're not good. They're not used to good cinematography. So when they see it, they're like, whoa, this movie's fucking bright. It's colorful. It's amazing. And that's the same thing with Midsummer. People saw a colorful, bright movie and they're like, oh my God, like the cinematography in Midsummer is great. But at the same time, it's a shit movie. Like I didn't like the movie. But that's a conversation for another day.
well, again, I actually enjoyed the story as well on Pearl. I didn't know what to expect, so when I saw it, I actually enjoyed it.
The
Again,
story was
en
stupid. She humped a
enjoy
scarecrow.
enjoy and love is 2 different things, but I
Dude,
enjoyed it.
she's some horny ass girl killing people. I don't get it.
It
That
made
shit was dumb.
sense to me when you said, that's the prequel to X. I was like, "Gotcha," But regardless, anyway, look, I think it is where it is now, and
Yeah.
sorry for people who like it and all
All right,
that.
who's next? Who's that?
The Strangers.
Oh, damn. The fact that we're getting a freaking brand new movie with 3 chapters and they're all coming out. They're all coming out 3 years or they're all coming out in 1 year?
I don't know, but how many movies is there? 1?
There's two, right? There's two right now,
I've
but
only
now we're
seen
getting a trilogy. So there's going to be 5 movies by the time this trilogy is done.
okay. I mean, look, as you say, they're getting enough To get a trilogy means something. Do you know what I mean? I actually thought not the film. I actually didn't mind the first film. It was all right. It's
The
not one
first
that
film
you
is
can rush back to.
when I rewatched it, it was kind of slow.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. After you've seen it first time, the second time, it's one of those
It's a
ones where
drag.
it's in one house.
The
Whole
second
film.
one's more enjoyable.
It's same
The
with the
se-
first no, not Conjuring, Purge. I find the second time, third time I've watched it, it drags it because it's all in the same house. But the characters themselves are pretty fucking ninja creepy, do you know? And I'm not going to say iconic. I'm going to put in, I'd say bloody good so far.
yeah, I agree with you. I think they're in bloody. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
Bloody good.
they're pretty creepy.
They
I
might
like,
get bumped. They depending on how well this
yeah,
new trilogy does, they might get bumped up because there's a lot of people like hyping this new trilogy up. I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, I don't see it, but you know, who knows? You know, but yeah, the Strangers. I think it's a cool property.
here we go. The
The
Collector.
Collector.
This is, I
Look,
know,
man, I'm so mad because this movie should have been he could have been an iconic ass character. This could have been our new Jigsaw. And the fact that we had the third movie in filming, and then all of a
yeah.
sudden it just got abandoned.
Is
Oh
that
man, I
because
was
of
so mad
COVID
about
or
that.
was it COVID, wasn't it?
Nah, it's because it was at first reported about COVID, like they were trying to record during COVID. But what happened was I think they just pulled the budget, like they just pulled the money
Yeah,
from
and it
it,
just
and
stopped dead and
it just
nothing changed.
stopped.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
just stopped production. And the people were just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and I heard they left all the stuff there and they just dipped. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. But this movie is so close to being iconic. I think that,
it's yeah, I know, but how
but
many people
is
go?
it a how is it? But look at the company that it will be keeping if it landed in Killer. I don't think it's there.
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think
It's
it's there.
more
I
how you
want to put it
feel.
there.
It's what you think. You know,
I want to put it there simply because it's a good fucking movie and it's a great
I know what
idea.
you're saying, and he looks good too. Yeah, it's just I feel like not the audience hasn't reached the audience
I think
for
we
it.
got to put him in bloody good.
Oh,
I think he deserves a bloody good. What do you think?
I'll go with that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was you who got me to watch this, and I agree. It was taking me back a little bit. I thought, yeah, all right, it's good, and I do feel he deserves to be higher. He's just not there yet. Not for the world or the community. He's not there yet in the world of
If
the
they would
movie.
have kept it going, then yeah. I think if they would have kept this going, it definitely could have hit that point. But
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's kind of lost his mojo and lost his momentum, and I think that made it suffer a little bit.
All right, we got three more, and the next one is Children of the Corn.
Man, which one?
We'll go with the first one. They had the Malachi.
I was like, 'cause don't they switch
Isaac.
characters all the freaking time?
Was it Isaac and Malachi or something? If I said it right. You know, it was the
It's going in
ginger
that.
one.
It's got to go in that role with Angela. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I do remember I like first Children of the Corn. Speaking of cinematography, I watched the remake there last year, and within the first 5 minutes, I was taken back because I thought this was a Zack Snyder type movie. I was like, "Oh shit, this is going to be good." And then I'd say 5 minutes after that, it just went, "Fuck all this! This shit, oh bad." But if you see that first 5 minutes, you'll go, "Oh my god, this is going to be epic." But regardless, the characters, I think one of the kid, you know, the kid who he looks about 50, but he's about
I know
he
he's
acts
talking
about
about
10. Yeah, yeah.
the little redhead
He's
kid, right?
I feel like he's memorable enough had he been in more, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think it's his characters and the others, but they're not that memorable to me. So I'm just going to go with you and slash him. And I do like the first Children of the Corn, but yeah.
Oh
Right.
damn, you put him in Slash and Miss. I thought we put
Oh,
him in
what were you going to put him in?
Bloody Good, or I thought he was going in the same role as Angela.
I don't think he's up there with any of those. I don't think he's in with Angela, Esther, even My Bloody Valentine, and
Really? I
yeah,
mean, the fact that that shit spawned like a billion
I
sequels.
know, but it's just, do you
It
know the
spawned a
film?
billion
But do you
sequels.
know the characters really compared to
Okay,
Esther?
but I ain't gonna lie, I haven't watched the sequels, so I don't even know if the same character pops up all the
It's
time.
all right. It's this. I think it's the same character, just played by different actors. Yeah,
Oh yeah, then he gotta go in a Bloody Good,
it's just
or he gotta
I'm,
go in that
I'm like,
Angela role.
all right,
He doesn't belong next to Pearl, bro.
I don't know. It's just
Let
as much.
Rochambeau for it. We can
All right,
Rochambeau
I'm
for
gonna
it.
go with it because I see your point. Because it's just, it's just for me. It feels like, would you? Who knows him? Only people, a small few people in the horror community. And I feel over Angela, Esther, and all that. I feel he's not as, but I don't think he probably deserves to be in the bottom shit too. So
Dude, some people might argue you down and say he belongs
no,
in a
no,
row
I agree. There's
With
people who love
Damien
him,
Omen.
but I just don't feel. Yeah, okay, I'm all right. I think he's done enough to be in there. Fair enough. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, it's one of
Alright.
those ones. Here, I think we're gonna differ. Um, what he did last summer. What's his name? Hook, Mr.
Ben
Hook.
Willis.
Yeah, I think we're gonna differ on this. What do you?
Uh, Bloody Good.
Yeah, this is where we differ. Yeah, I'd put him in memorable enough.
The
I
reason why I say look, the reason why I'm saying Bloody Good is one, 3 sequels. 2 of them went to the movie theater. 1 of them went straight to DVD. Had a TV series, even though it wasn't him.
no.
And then
You're
now they
right.
have a
No,
now they're working on a
right.
legacy
You're
remake.
actually right. You know what? I'm being biased. I'm thinking of fuck him. You're right. No, it's done enough to get. Yeah, you're right. There's people that it's done enough for a few sequels. It's got its own TV show, and it's got
And it's a book. It started off as a popular book that became a
yeah,
movie. And then this came out at the tail end of Scream, and this competed with
yeah.
Scream.
No, I agree. You're right. And then it's got is it the what do you call it? A mid sequel type thing coming out soon. It's a
Legacy
legacy
sequel.
sequel coming out.
Yeah,
So
it's
you know
a
what?
legacy sequel, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Because to me personally, I never really loved them movies, and he just didn't do it for me.
I rewatched it. The first one isn't that good.
I just never I like Scream. I just didn't think there were, and he just didn't bother me, and I just didn't give a shit about him. But you're right. I was just thinking out of myself. You're right. Where did you say? Where do you think?
Shit. What was it? The Bloody Good.
Okay. Sorry, tall man. Sorry, Damien, strangers, and collector. You got him next to you. I didn't choose it, but don't come after me at night. But yeah, all right. No, he's done enough to be somewhere. Yeah. Right. Final. What's her face? Bride of Chucky. What's her name? Tiffany.
Tiffany. So yeah.
This is tricky.
Bloody Good. Or she's either Bloody Good or Killer. I honestly believe that she might be Killer simply because she's become a household name. She's not like Glenda or Glenn, and she's way more recognizable. I mean, hell, the TV show is kind of based off of her freaking character, Jennifer Tilly. That character made Jennifer Tilly, for Christ's sake. I think that she might be in the Killer category because now you kind of can't think about Chucky without thinking about Tiffany.
I think I'm stuck between Bloody Good and Killer, but I'm not going to argue because I can't choose. So I'm going to let you do that because I don't think she's quite Chucky level.
Yeah, she's not iconic. Hell no, because Chucky's up above.
Yeah, obviously.
She's one step below him
I
because she is as notable as he is. You know, she's as notable as he is. Like if
I
you
just
show somebody a doll, they're gonna be like, oh, that's a chick from Chucky.
I
Like they
think
gonna know.
the fact that she was in was it Bride of Chucky, which is the fourth one, right? And the
Yeah,
fact that she was in every other one after that. Oh, was she? She wasn't actually, was she?
Bride of Chucky. Yeah, Bride of Chucky is hands down underrated as fuck. That's actually a good movie.
That's actually my favorite one. But
Yeah,
and she's in. All right, I'm gonna
she's
put
been
it
in
in.
everyone since. She's been in Bride of Chucky. She's been Seed of Chucky. She's been
All
in.
right, yeah, yeah. No, okay, she's done enough.
Okay,
Fair enough.
so okay, even though, but here's the thing though. Yeah, she belongs there, but she's in the sequels, but she's not as the doll. She's her actual self.
I know, but it's still her in a
It's still
sense.
her, yeah.
It's like
But what I'm
Jigsaw,
saying is she's still in the other movies. She's just like as of her actual self. But
but
yeah,
like
hey, look, we got through the list.
yeah, we've done it. I
So
mean,
icons, we got Valak, we got Pennywise, Candyman, we have Hannibal Lecter, we have Freddy Krueger, we have Jason. Who is that?
Ghostface.
Ghostface, we have Michael Myers, we have Leatherface, we have Chucky, we have Pinhead, we have Jigsaw, and then we have Norman Bates. For Killer, we got Annabelle, Jeepers Creepers, Mr. Art the Clown himself, Leprechaun, and we have Tiffany. Then for Bloody Good, we got, is that the tall man?
Yeah, tall man.
Damien Omen. Who is, oh,
Stranger.
the Strangers, the Collector, Ben Willis. And then for Good Enough, or was it Memorable Enough?
Memorable
We
enough.
have Angela. We have the killer from freaking Black Christmas that doesn't have a name. We got Harry Warden. We have Esther, and then we have, who is that?
Children of the Corn.
Children of the Corn. And then for Slash and a Miss, Pearl. And then for Who the Fuck Cares, the hillbillies from Wrong
And
Turn.
it's weird because I actually like Wrong Turn more than Pearl, if you get what I mean.
No, I know, but at the same time, we
Characters.
have to admit that if we showed somebody a picture of Pearl, they'll probably know who she is versus
Yeah,
them.
over
And then
any.
we have to also take it to the fact that Pearl has been very successful.
Yeah.
So yeah, and again, I think it's more so because of Mia Goth and not because the character itself is iconic.
I mean, again, this is. I mean, it's all subjective. If we did another one, right, on who we'd like to be in the horror icon, it would be a very different list. You know what? It wouldn't be too far different. I just know that Madman Mars would be up there somewhere. But I'm just
Dude,
saying.
Madman Mars has got to be at the bottom of the barrel, bro.
No, all right, let's not get into that now. We'll fall out. What I was saying is that in general, I think we all agree there that all the iconic characters are the iconic characters. There is a couple that I'm on. I still think of like Terrifier and Creeper. Even Leprechaun are close to icon. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
But if we did our own version, who we'd want in icon, I think it would be a bit different. I
A
think
little bit, not too much.
Hey,
A
no, the
little bit,
main
but not too
characters
much.
would still be in there. It's just the like I'd probably have Damien in icon, and I'd probably have Jeep and Terrifier, and like there'd be a few, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, but anyway, I enjoyed doing that. We should do some more. I'm gonna do some more of these tier videos. You know, it's been about an hour, but fuck it, we had fun. I had fun, and the rock paper
yeah,
scissors.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just gotta just make another list with different characters. There's so many horror characters. I mean, it should be easy.
we could do genres. We could do Halloween movies. There's about 100 of those.
Oh,
Which is
ranking Halloween movies. That'll be fun.
yeah. Yes, I mean even Jason movies, all kinds. There's loads.
Yeah, we should do that. We should rank the movies, best to worst.
That's what I mean. You know, then there's how many Halloween movies is there? There's 5, 6. There's about
I
13.
want to say like 12 at least, something like that. Because there's, hold
4,
up,
5.
1, 2,
Resurrection.
3, 4, 5, and then
Is there
6
6?
is 6 is a curse, isn't it?
And then you have Resurrection. No, you have H2O, Resurrection. Um, then you've got the 2 Rob Zombie movies. Then you've got the 3 recent ones. You know.
Yeah,
So there's a few.
exactly.
There's
It's
a
a
few.
lot.
Yeah, and you know, in some ways, it's easier than ranking because if you had to rank each one of these characters here from bottom to top, who's number one, it would be pretty tough. But with this, we're able to put them in a category where we're comfortable with, you know, without having to choose one over the other, sort of thing. But I will do some ranking anyway at some point.
It's 13 films. Damn, that's a lot of movies.
Is that including zombies? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 13 because it goes
Yeah, 6.
Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Curse is 6. Like I said, H2O, Resurrection, Halloween, Rob Zombie, Halloween, Rob Zombie 2, Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends is 13.
Okay.
It's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. And
But
then
we should do that. We'll rank them.
yeah, definitely. Sounds good to me.
All
All
right.
right. Well, everyone, thank you for watching. If you watched it, if you made it here to the end to see what our favorites and iconics are, jump over to Davey from the 80s over at Cinema Chop Shop, and I'll be sure to put a link in the bottom. If you like this video, let us know in the comments, and also let us know if you're able to put which ones would you put in iconic that we didn't, you know. So, but for now, Check it out.
Let us know which
Subscribe.
ones you disagree with. Like, let us. I want to know which ones you disagree with. Like, who would you move if you had
And
a
don't jump on my total
choice?
pearl, please. But I'm just saying is, yeah, let us know what you think anyway in general in the comments. And we do check the comments, not like some people, they just don't. Anyway, look, but for now and until next time,